Good Friday morning on this July 11th. I'm meteorologist Byron Douglas. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to take you through an alert day, which is Saturday, by the way, and we'll cover that. And our streaming show starts each weekday at 8:30. Glad that you're here. We started this a few weeks ago. Here is the alert day that we unfolded here early this morning. We might carry this over into Sunday. I know July, there's so much going on. You got the Women's City Golf Tournament going on, county fairs at Perry, Gibson, and Posey. If you're out on the waterways, this is Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. It does include an isolated flooding threat. We don't have any flood watches, but this is the time of year we can get some efficient up to 1 to 2 inches of rain across very spotty areas. Damaging winds along with large hail. At this time doesn't include a tornado threat at this time frame, but Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. And of course, the weather team will be evaluating, Jeff Hart and Michael, about what they want to do with Sunday. There's a case to be made that we could see some additional storms on Sunday during that time frame, and we'll take a look in a moment. I'd like to start with the Storm Prediction Center along the front. Most of the storms there. And we talked yesterday, remember during the stream, that we were in a general for Saturday. I thought we'd be bumped to isolated. And even on Saturday, I think we could be jumped up to scattered, which I'll break down. I'll give you my thinking behind that. But right now, it's from Chicago back into Kansas City for this afternoon. Now, you see us under a general risk. We have a 10% chance as we go through, generally this afternoon and tonight. And then on Saturday, we have a 60% chance of showers and storms. Right now, we have a level 1 threat. Areas along the Ohio River and areas north of Interstate 64, there's a case to be made, depending on how the front to the north and west behaves, that we could see some scattered severe thunderstorms. But suffice it to say, we are risk for severe weather Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. Now, it's a level 1 threat. Not going to be a big outbreak of rough stuff, but we're going to have a nice base layer of sunshine on Saturday, and this is where we could see a severe thunderstorm watch on Saturday, especially covering the afternoon and evening hours. So if you're out on the waterways, if you're out water skiing, whatever you're doing at ball games, just make sure you have an indoor plan. Sunday, there's a case. This would be Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. It's a level 1 threat. So we might add some additional alert time concerning Sunday afternoon and then into Sunday night. I'll take this full. We'll run down some temperatures here, and I'll get out of the way, give you a break. 81 at Evansville, 78 in Owensboro. And then as we take a look at it, Henderson at 80, 78 there in Jasper at this hour. And taking a look at the Muggy meter, we're at 72. Hey, I'm going to shout out some folks. Blake, Brandy on Facebook, Bob, appreciate you turning in. Martha, Stephanie, Ethan, appreciate you all. Carrie, Marilyn, Donna. We'll shout out some more folks. If you guys have some questions, go ahead and fire them away. And the UV index up to about 11. The sunburn time, generally 15 to 20 minutes during the afternoon. Cloud layers, kind of scattered bases, 3,000 to 5,000 feet. Some cumulus clouds are kind of cool to look at. Casey Mason will be along in a moment. As you can see here at the Gibson County Fair. She'll have the details on that. Of course, we have them in Perry and Posey. We'll find out if Casey's going to travel to all 3 county fairs tonight. That would be quite a stretch. Got the great fish sandwich up there at the Gibson County Fair. Nothing here on Doppler radar. We'll take this full. We'll show you we got some storms going. Had a little bit of lightning in up to about Rensselaer, Indiana, and then up to about central Midland, Michigan comes to mind. So this is out in advance of that front. You get from Wanata, Kankakee on the Indiana side to about Kankakee, Illinois. Between the Kankakees, that's along the Kankakee River. So a shout out, and then north of Rensselaer up towards Roselawn along Interstate 65. And that's a look there, and here's a wider view. Got some storms going. That's where the front has organized, and it's going to kind of sag a little farther south over the weekend. So as we go hour by hour, no issues today. It's just going to be flat out hot. In fact, one of our hottest days of the year so far. Low to mid 90s, pretty typical weather. But the heat index will be a little hotter overall as we'll grab this full here up to about, we talked on 14 News Sunrise, between about 98 and 103 as we go into the afternoon. So here's the latest guidance concerning today. We're not showing much here in the way of thunderstorms. However, as we go into Saturday, this takes us through Friday night. Looks good for Friday after 5, by the way. Saturday during the morning, we're fine. We're just looking at sunny skies. Winds will be out of the southwest. We won't see any storms going. Nice cap on the atmosphere. But look what happens. Generally, from 2 until 5 p.m., some storms, especially, gets these outflow boundaries going, and you can't rule out some severe storms. So it looks really bright over in Harrisburg, Illinois, but that could set up in Princeton, Evansville, anywhere as that cycles on through. So this takes us into Saturday night. So that kind of matches the level 1 threat through Saturday night. So I want to go over to the HRRR model, the rapid refresh. It's a short-term model. Hasn't worked very well the past few weeks, but I put it in to show it to you. Is we got this we pick it up into Saturday afternoon. However, it's showing a little more action later in the day. This is at 5, 6 o'clock, a squall line potentially, and at 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So a little bit later from the earlier guidance that I was showing you. So again, if that would verify, that shows a good line in here, and then we could see a severe thunderstorm watch, and then along with a few warnings Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. All right, let's go back to the Storm Prediction Center and just concentrate on the alert day on Saturday. There's not a tornado threat. I'm not too concerned about hail because we have a lot of warm air aloft, but some Peter-Marble size hail would be possible. And then we have a low threat for damaging winds. That second model I showed you, if that verified, that there could be a case to be made for a slight risk for severe storms. Now on Sunday, there's a case for some storms during the afternoon. Sunday's looking a little bit brighter earlier in the day, and then some storms get going during the heat of the day, during max heating during the evening. So that matches the level 1 threat for your Sunday. So there's the 7-day forecast. We'll take this full. Right now, the alert day is Saturday. And Michael Feck is here. We're talking with him what we're going to do on Sunday, and then Jeff's going to be in a little bit later on concerning that. So hello, Donna in Huntingburg. Appreciate you. Susan, good morning over in New Harmony. Looks good up there at the Posey County Fair. And we have Rhonda down in Jasper, Alabama. You know what? That's not too far from the Buc-ee's down there. That's kind of cool. I love that. My wife and I went down there, that was a couple of months ago. We spent an hour there at the, that's not too far. Tanya, Teresa, Christina, we appreciate all of you. Just wanted to say good morning. Casey will be along in a moment. I'll take this full. We got to spin some plates back here. Casey Mason will be along in a moment.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
right, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here for our Friday streaming show here in our CTV room at 14 News. Of course, Byron just recapped some of those main weather headlines for you this morning, and I'm going to go over a few of our headlines from our morning news program that maybe you didn't miss, or just a few things that maybe I thought we could talk about again. A couple of updates that maybe you'll need to know going into this weekend. I'm Casey Mason. As always, I usually have my co-anchor Mitch Carter with me, but he has been enjoying a week off on vacation. We're happy for him. A little bit jealous as well, but we'll be glad to have him back next week. I believe he'll be back on Monday. No promises, but eventually he will be back. So before we get into those news headlines, I know Byron already said good morning to some of our live commenters here, but I want to go ahead and show some love. Donna, hi from Huntingburg. Hello to you. We have Cheyenne, good morning to you. Susan, hi from New Harmony. Greetings from Jasper, Alabama. As Byron already said, that's near the Buc-ee's there. I love a good Buc-ee's visit as well. I too can spend many hours inside of Buc-ee's. So hi to you, Rhonda. And then we have Chris Baxton saying good morning. And I just saw the latest comment from Jeff Miller saying good morning as well. Good morning to you all. Again, it makes us happy to see that you are interacting with us and chatting and joining the conversation. That's what we do this for. All right, before we get into those news headlines, I'm going to be kind of wrapping up here in a few minutes before we end this thing today, talking a little bit about fair season. So if you are watching and want to join our conversation, give us a comment. Let's talk a little bit about if you're heading out to any county fairs this summer, which fair is your favorite? Where are you from? Where do you like to go? What's maybe one of your favorite fair memories? Let's talk about food, one of my favorite topics. Tell me what your favorite thing to get at the fair is. Just anything fair related if you'd like to. Go ahead and comment, and I'll see if I can get to those here in just a couple minutes. But first, let's go ahead and get to some of these news headlines that I pulled for you today. We're going to start off talking about a water main break update that I feel like is important to update you all on. So this is over in Webster County. So we've been following this all week long. A boil advisory has officially been lifted for most of the Providence water customers. Not all of you. Water officials say those that are living in the Diamond area, you are still under that advisory. Now, you guys may remember actually last week is when that main water line broke there, and then it ended up cutting off water there in town. That, of course, prompted a state of emergency. Officials say now that that water leak is fixed, they have collected some water samples, and they have sent those to a lab for some safety testing. Officials say they are waiting on those results, and as soon as they get those, they're going to provide an update for us once they have more information. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that story as well and let you know when everything's good to go again. All right, moving over to Gibson County, there is a traffic alert that we've been following. Let's take a map of the county there. So a big traffic alert going on in the Gibson County area. They're going to be alternating some lane closures. Those are starting already on Highway 41 South. I actually drove by there on my way to pick up my daughter yesterday. We're kind of from the Gibson County area, and yeah, I saw the lane closure. They've got it down to one side over there as you were heading north, but now they've started Highway 41 South, and that's just there near the Hopstot area. That's between County Roads 925 South and 990 South. This work is preparation work. It's going to last about 2 days, and then starting on Monday, that's when crews will be closing the southbound lanes of Highway 41 in that same area. This closure is expected to last about a week depending on the weather. Of course, all of this is for a pipe replacement project. The detour is going to have you taking State Road 168 over to I-69. 168 over to I-69. I was in that area around lunchtime yesterday, and it really wasn't too bad. But of course, as you get kind of that end of the day traffic, Toyota traffic heading out of there, it's going to be a little backed up. So we just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Be patient. They're doing what they can in that area to get that area up to date and fixed for you. All right, let's move on now to some fair talk as promised. So we're going to kick things off with Perry County Fair. It is happening today. That's right. The Perry County 4-H Fair is getting underway. We want to show them our love and support too. There's lots of county fairs going on across the tri-state. So full screen here that you're looking at, I'm going to break it down for you here. Some of the events happening. So it all starts this morning at 8. They're going to have their opening ceremony. So they probably have already got that wrapped up now here at 8:44 this morning. And they're they're also going to do the 4-H member recognition that's taking place as well this morning. And right after that, plenty of animal shows are going to be happening throughout the day. If you want to swing by, check those out. It's all going to lead up to the motocross event that's happening tonight at 5 o'clock. And then at 6:30 this evening, that's when they're going to have the Perry County King and Queen contest. So if you guys want to go show your support, maybe head out there for that. Sounds like a great event. Of course, we yesterday on 14 News Sunrise, we were so excited and honored. I chatted about this yesterday. We had our Posey County reigning queens in. So they were crowned last summer's fair. They will pass the torch Saturday night for their fair that's going to kick off all next week as well. So we got the Posey County Fair that's going to be starting next week. Lots of great events there. The reigning queens all came in. We had the Queen, the Duchess, and the Princess all join us on our live morning show. If you missed that interview, it's over on 14news.com. They did a great job promoting the fair. They talked about some of the special deals and events that are taking place. They have a great kids area set up at the Posey County Fair as well. So something for everyone, all ages, great family fun there. And we best of luck to whoever competes in this year's pageant. I guess we'll see who takes home the title. All right, let's move on now to the Gibson County Fair. We've been talking about that this morning. Take some video here of the fairgrounds. There's a lot still happening over there today. They are going to be wrapping things up. It's the 169th annual Gibson County Fair. Today there's still several food booths that are going to open up for that lunchtime crowd. That's going to be around 11 till about 1 o'clock. There's also an antique machinery tractor display that's happening at 2 o'clock today. And the beer garden's going to open up at 6 o'clock, also happening tonight. I'm super excited. I have the honor to MC the grandstands for the big Colt Ford concert that's taking place. So I'm going to introduce him before he comes out on stage. Maybe get the crowd as hyped as I possibly can. I'll do my best. Of course, I love country music, so it'll be a fun time out there. If you guys mainly want to come out and see Colt Ford, but hey, I'll be there too. That concert's going to kick off at 8 o'clock if you want to come check it out again in the grandstands over at the Gibson County Fair. That fair is going to wrap up though Saturday, July 12th. So that's tomorrow. So go on out while you can. And of course, we're talking about fairs right now. So let's have a little fun conversation here. I went through, actually talked to some folks and kind of tried to remember who all has been at some of our county fairs and played. We've had some really great shows come through the area. I've seen some concerts over at the Vanderburgh County Fair when they've had some artists come on. Of course, keeping in things with Gibson County here, since that's where I'm going to be tonight. Here's some fun facts. A couple of country artists that have performed there at the Gibson County Fair, really when they were first starting off. They hit the home run when it came to some of these artists that were really on the rise. Some of those include Kenny Chesney has actually played the Gibson County Fair. And I know some folks that were telling me that not only did he play, but before his show, he was out playing. I think they had some contests going on and he got involved and was just playing with fairgoers and got to interact and socialize with some people, of course, before social media, where I don't think anybody had any great selfies of them with Kenny Chesney. It was probably before that time. But Kenny Chesney was out there at the Gibson County Fair. Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette also played the Gibson County Fair. And I remember this one. Hunter Hayes was a big guest that performed there for a while. And then Justin Moore, I remember him playing the Gibson County Fair as well. And that year, the weather was terrible. So they moved the concert from the grandstands over to the 4-H pavilion. Ended up being the most incredible night. Rain or shine, we still had an absolute blast. All right, so just thought I'd share that with you, kind of some cool information there about some of the artists that have come through the area. Let's head over to our comments here. Oh, I have Sean Grabby commenting that one of her favorite fair foods are the deep fried Oreos. Sean, I completely agree with you. That is a sweet treat that if you have not tried, highly recommend it. And hey, I'm sure if you don't get it this summer, you could probably grab some deep fried Oreos when the Fall Fest kicks off this fall. I will. And now that I'm at 14 News, I know that's just a small walk, hop and a skip from the station here. So I may be eating lots of Fall Fest food this fall. All right, let's see here. Did I miss anybody? Don't want to miss anybody. We've got Jennifer saying hello. Good morning to you, Jennifer. And I think that pretty much does it for the comments today. But of course, this This will live on our Facebook page well after we're live. It'll be posted to the Facebook page. Even though we aren't live anymore, you can still tune in and watch this. And if you want to leave a comment, have a conversation amongst yourselves, you're more than welcome. Well, I tell you what, I'll keep things short and sweet today as it is a Friday and we are fixing to start our weekend. I hope everybody has a great weekend out there. You guys stay safe, have some fun at the county fairs if you can head out and support those. And overall, like I mentioned, Mitch is going to be back next week. He did not go anywhere. He just went on vacation. I'll be glad to have him back. It's all right solo, but it's much better when you have your partner in crime up here with you. So Byron Douglas recapped our forecast for us a little bit ago. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good weekend, but of course it is still hot out there. So try to stay hydrated, try to stay safe. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your July 11th, and I will see you all next time. Jamie French, Rob Miles, Arden Gregory, possibly Michael Fecka. They'll have your 2:30 streaming show a little bit later today. We'll see you guys.